Investment. Are you thinking of owning your dream homes? EJ Investment is here for you. Secure our quality bungalows with 2, 3, or 4 bedrooms, or our story buildings, 3 or 4 to 5 bedrooms at very affordable prices with flexible payment plans at our Sanyang Seaview Estate, where you can enjoy the cool breeze with modern infrastructure such as tar roads, covered drainage system, modern electrification with street lights, gated entrance with security posts, and social amenities such as gas station, shopping mall, medical clinic, park, schools, children daycare, and a lot more. Our dedicated team of professionals will keep the estate clean at all times, provide security and patrol team within the estate premises, install latest technologies such as CCTV, Wi-Fi, home network installation, solar panel, and power backup system. Also, check out for our additional home facilities and interior design service such as premium tiling, wall plaster, home landscape, fingerprint home lock, and a lot more. Visit our office at Senegambia Kololi Highway and get a free site visit tour, or contact us on 4464838. WhatsApp us on 3259220. Or you can visit our Facebook page or Instagram on EJ Investments. EJ Investments, we are first in properties.
Islamic microfinance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yona Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yona Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yona Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, takaful fund, management of zakat, management of awqaf, trading and investment, and building of strategic partnerships to bring financial services to the doorstep of the poor with donor projects, madrasas, youth organizations, women groups, and farmer organizations. Make a choice with Yona Islamic Microfinance today. For more information on Yona Islamic Microfinance, call 377-2151 or 9832-151, or visit Yona head office at Tipa Garage, Bakote, or visit any Yona branch located countrywide near you.
Thank you, Pons. And I'll just reiterate Ponslet's apologies for the late start. It was beyond our control, but here we are. So, good morning, everyone. Honorable Minister of Ministry of Information and Communication Infrastructure, UNDP Resident Rep. We can now proceed. Internet governance is the development and application of governments. Based on the concept of internet governance, it is noteworthy that our goal as a National IGF Steering Committee is to work with all stakeholders to influence the government's ICT policies to see internet governance fully entrenched in all our sectors of the Gambian economic at all levels in various regions of the country. Today's program is aimed at discussing the urgent need for recommendations to implement policies that ensure inclusion, accessibility to the internet in this dear time of the pandemic as a resilient Gambia, where the internet provides a crucial link to information, particularly in the area of health and digital economic advancement, sustainable growth at all levels. The Gambia, various stakeholders have taken measures on how to continue its socio-economic thrive by having in mind that the objective is to see how best the Gambia can achieve digital inclusion for all irrespective of where they live, which will lead to discussions on how best to mitigate and solve access, connectivity issues heading into the post-COVID-19 scenario, and put the Gambia in a state of preparedness for future pandemics where digital economy, digital inclusion, and access are critical moving forward. And finally, I would like to take the opportunity to acknowledge and appreciate our key partners that have immensely supported and contributed to the organizing and the hosting of this year's National IGF within a short notice. On behalf of the steering committee and the organizing committee, we would like to appreciate the following. To the Information Technology Association, Gambia, ITAG, for being a body that envelops all the information technology different stakeholder groups in the Gambia.
Organizing committee members, National Resource Person of the West Africa Internet Governance Forum, the President of the IT Association of the Gambia, distinguished panelists, delegates from youth groups, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, please allow me to congratulate the National IGF Committee and the Ministry of Information and Communication Infrastructure as the Secretariat for organizing and successfully hosting the 7th edition of the National Internet Governance Forum under the theme Digital Inclusion and Access for a Resilient Internet in the Gambia. I am indeed honored to partake in this important event as keynote speaker. This year's event is being held in a hybrid format, both in physical and virtual, due to the realities of the COVID-19 situation, which of course coincided with the emergence of the third wave of the pandemic and the deadly Delta virus. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, internet governance has continuously been evolving into a truly multi-stakeholder approach since the inception of the first Internet Governance Forum in Athens in 2006, which was established after deliberations at the World Summit on the Information Society in Tunis in 2005. Thus, given that the Internet Governance Forum is a bottom-top approach from national to the regional then global, the Gambia has been effectively participating at the regional level since the establishment of the West Africa Internet Governance Forum in 2010 in Dakar. The theme for this year's event resonates well with the realities of what the globe has been facing since the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Gambia, like most parts of the world, is battling with the pandemic, and as such, it has devised strategies to get its citizens vaccinated. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, despite the hardship brought by COVID-19, one constant denominator during this pandemic is the critical role of the internet in enhancing the socio-economic development and well-being of our people, as the internet has been the key tool for continued education, business transactions, and meetings, to name a few. Moreover, I've been reliably informed that the areas for discussion as part of the theme for this year includes quality access, bridging the digital divide, and structures in place to strengthen the digital economy. These topics to be discussed during the presentations and panel discussions are not only timely, but highly relevant in the sense that they will provide the opportunity for the country to devise mechanisms or strategies to help achieve our digital agenda. Hence, the importance of this forum cannot be overemphasized. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as part of the broadband policy under the ICT Master Plan for the Gambia, ICT is reorganized under the Critical Enabler 5 for the achievement of our National Development Plan, NDP 2018-2021, and the broadband is recognized as a key facilitator for the growth and advancement of the entire ICT sector, especially in the creation of information society that breeds, revitalize, and transform modern economy. The broadband policy is to enhance and improve the following: contribution to government revenue, employment in the ICT sector, access and usage of ICT infrastructure, the Gambia's ICT Development Index, ICT skills development, application of ICT services in business and general services delivery, job creation, research and development, national ICT capacity and industry workforce, the country's information security systems, and legal and regulatory framework for certitude and responsiveness. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is evident that ICT in general and broadband in particular contributes substantially to growth of the national development processes, especially the GDP, and towards poverty eradication by improving access with equity. A study conducted by the World Bank reveals that a 10% increase in broadband penetration accounts for 1.38% increase in the per capita GDP growth in developing economies. Aware of the importance of ICTs in economic development in our country, the government of the Gambia has in the past decade led the institutionalization and establishment of landmark and game-changing projects in the Gambia ICT sector as enshrined in Critical Enabler 5 of our National Development Plan, the NDP, which seeks to transform the Gambia into a digital nation and create a modern information society. Additionally, the National Information and Communications Infrastructure NICI policy, adopted in 2005, and the ICT for Development Policy 2018 to 2028, set the tone for ICT sector policy evolution in the Gambia. It provided strategic direction for the attainment of the ICT development vision of the government. The NICI policy was anchored on building and sustaining partnership with the private sector and donors, providing an effective information and communication infrastructure, enabling countrywide connectivity, and achieving a liberalized and competitive ICT market that offers consumer choice and affordable cost with guaranteed quality of service. It also prioritized critical socio-economic issues like the proliferation of ICT-driven socio-economic solutions in education, and most importantly, in public health delivery. At the same time, the government of the Gambia has identified the landing of a second submarine cable as a priority. Furthermore, plans are in place to include the Gambia in the Amilcar Cabral submarine cable project of ECOWAS, while other avenues are being explored as well. It is important to note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that in order to bridge the digital divide, it is pertinent for the country to look into internet resilience and affordability for our citizens, as COVID-19 pandemic has definitely portrayed to all of us that being online is no longer a luxury, but a necessity for all citizens, irrespective of where you live and your societal status. In this regard, I wish to seize this opportunity to encourage all participants in this forum, including the panelists that are online as well as present here physically, to critically look at the issues at hand in order to provide tangible options that the government of the Gambia and all relevant stakeholders can take to bring down the cost of internet and also make accessibility more possible for our rural dwellers. As a multi-stakeholder gathering, our key word and focus should be building a resilient internet infrastructure that reaches all. On a similar note, it is also critical to note that security is also a key issue to deliberate on. How do we protect our infrastructure? How do we secure our networks properly within the global trend of developments and within the wider concept of ICT today? How does it affect what we do as policymakers? These questions are very relevant to us and pertinent to internet governance and the digital transformation agenda, and in our quest to meet Sustainable Development Goals 9 SDGs on industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, 2 days might look short to discuss all the themes and the sub-themes, but we are lucky to have great speakers within the field of internet that are taking part in this forum as presenters or panelists. Thus, we look forward to seeing the participation of key stakeholders in the subsequent African IGF later this year and at the 16th annual Global IGF to be hosted by the government of Poland from 6th to the 10th December 2021 under the overarching theme, Internet United. Therefore, I personally look forward to reading the communique from the 7th edition of this important forum and also wish all the participants a great learning experience in sharing and engaging. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, please allow me to reiterate our sincerest commendation to the National Internet Governance Forum Committee for successfully organizing and hosting the 7th annual IGF. This session is not only timely, but apt as it seeks to provide the platform where the internet ecosystem in the Gambia will not only discuss and share experiences on the theme and sub-themes, but also possibly discuss digital measures to put in place to fight the COVID-19 pandemic. Therefore, please allow me to seize this opportunity to express on behalf of my ministry and the government of the Gambia, and by extension, to renew to you our commitment of support and collaboration in advancing the digital issues in the Gambia. I thank you all for your kind attention. Thank you.
Prior to 2012, the total bandwidth, international bandwidth available in the country was less than 1 gig. It was 644 megabytes to be precise. But in 2012, through the assistance of the World Bank, we were able to increase, and not only increase, we are able to make available an international fiber backbone to the tune of $25 million US, and it was able to provide a bandwidth capacity of 10 gigs to the country. Today, as we speak, that bandwidth has increased from 10 gigs to 100 gigs. So which means even if the entire country is on board, we may not have challenges. And the equipment is scalable, is resilient, we can increase the bandwidth depending on our needs and in consultation with other stakeholders of the ACE consortium, and not in the provinces. As a regulator, we encourage all operators, all players to invest in the rural areas so that they can be inclusive as far as digital inclusiveness is concerned. So most what we do in most cases is when we are giving approval for these technologies to roll out, one of the conditions would be that at least they have to make those services available in the rural areas so that at least they will be able to enjoy and be included in the digital ecosystem. By the end of the year, hopefully, through the support of the World Bank, we will be able to have a system in place which measures signal level availability of not only 2G, but 3G and 4G as well. And hopefully, if 5G is rolled out, it will also be able to make it available. It will be able to have network mapping of all the networks, which will be published for everyone to see. And it will also be able to identify the gaps. Where are the gaps for 2G, for 3G, for 4G, and so on and so forth. I'm very, very sure that people will not be interested to know the coverage maps of 2G, because 2G, the speeds are limited. Even though they can be able to provide internet connectivity, they have limitations. So this is where we are. Hopefully, by the end of the year, it's going to be a game changer for the country. And once you are able to identify the gaps, then you can be able to take regulatory actions to ensure that those gaps are filled. There are various options. You can work with the operators to fill those gaps. You can be able, having mapped all these things, you can be able to write project proposals and send them to donor partners, because nowadays they know fully well that yes, digital inclusiveness, digitalizing the economy is key, and they don't want a digital divide between the urban and rural areas. Before concluding, as a regulator, when we talk of broadband services, we should not only talk of the ICT infrastructure. We need to also think electrically, because if you don't have electricity available in your homes, challenges will occur. I remember last year in the 6th Internet Governance Forum, it was done online. I was supposed to be a panelist, but at that time I was on leave and I was at home. And when the time came for me to join, I was there and all ready with my gadgets and so on and so forth. And all of a sudden, electricity went off for 3 hours, and there was nothing I could do. So which means I had to be isolated. So we have to make sure that electricity is available to actually complement and facilitate our digitalization process. So in a nutshell, this is where we are. We need to ensure that all the tools are available. We should not limit ourselves to one technology. That is why we even currently looking at other options, such as virtually small amateur finance, which is the visas and all these other things, mixture of these things, so that customers can have a choice. Even if they are in the rural areas and they are not on the national fiber infrastructure, or they are far away from the service provider, they have options of being provided with such internet facilities to be able to communicate nationally and internationally. So these are some of the things that we have in place. I want to thank each and every one of you for listening, and I await your comments and interventions, and we hope we'll be able to have solutions to transform the country and ensure inclusivity. My colleague later on will actually be talking about price, because that is key. Having all these things in place, if people in the rural areas are unable or to afford to use these services as they need, then it will defeat the whole purpose. But together, we can be able to find solutions. Thank you very much.
Good morning to you, my fellow panelists, Mr. Jaka, and to the audience here present and those online. It's really an honor to be here to take part in this discussion on behalf of the Director of ICT, Mr. Nya, who was supposed to be here, but unfortunately due to circumstances beyond his control, he assigned me to step in. I think the discussion is very interesting, and on the part of Moisi, which is the government entity responsible for the ICT sector, what I would say first of all is that access. Access means the whole. Access means the whole world to us, because if you look at our agenda that is trying to digitize the nation, we're talking about digital economy, and we're talking about education, e-health, e-agriculture, and all of these policies. You know, one thing that stands out is that if this technology or these issues are not accessible, then let's forget about all the policies that we do. So access, but not only access in terms of affordability, as well as stability that you mentioned, it is very important. So therefore, the ministry has been working on numerous strategies and policies to make sure that the ICT sector is actually vibrant. One of the things that we can be proud of is that the ministry has worked with PURA to liberalize the sector, both voice and data, unlike before. And we did this because we want this to be able to support, policies, and also increase competition among the providers of the services, therefore translating into, affordability as well as, accessibility. And this will also further enhance socio-economic development as well as inclusion in that regard. So we know that right now, no economy can function without the proper or efficient functioning of an ICT infrastructure at the level of the ministry. And not only communication infrastructure, like I said, but also affordable and accessible. So using this approach, this will allow communities, individuals, those that are underprivileged people, as well as those with disabilities, to be able to access the internet and use it for different purposes, like in terms of getting healthcare, in terms of entertainment, conducting financial transactions, and so on and so forth. So, and also allow them to participate equally into the running of the country as well as enjoy the benefits of the internet. So that's why I said access means the whole world. So coming back to your question and the discussion, we want to discuss about the recovery and capacity of the country, and Mr. Yada has dealt with that. I won't go much in detail, but just to tell you that capacity is not the problem. We have, like Mr. Yada said, we have over 600 gigabits of internet connection available to us. But look at how much we are using in that capacity. It's barely less than 30% of that. And still now we are crying about access and also affordability. So the remaining bandwidth is sitting there. So as a policy department, we have come up with different strategies, and one of which is the policy statement 2018-2028, which is anchored on 8 pillars that include broadband strategy. And in this broadband strategy, it is highlighted that accessibility is one of its main priorities, and also affordability. So we've come also with a lot of other policies that you mentioned in the beginning, such as the UAS, Universal Access Form. Now, we've been talking about liberalization, and we need to liberalize the sector. We need to allow competition to happen. Now, but when competition happens, when you liberalize the sector, you allow the players to decide in terms of investing in a particular location. The government or PURA cannot dictate that. And we all know ISPs or GSM companies, they will look at places where they know their return on investment will yield something, because you will not go and erect an infrastructure, like Mr. Jara said, where you are targeting few number of people. So the issue is the capacity is here, but why is the capacity not going to the end users? Why are they not feeling it? And that really has to do with the economic of scale also, one of the reasons. So that being the reason, at the ministry, we came up with the UAS policy, the Universal Access Policy, and this policy we've been talking about it for a while, but that one now is available and it has been endorsed by cabinet. This will make sure that broadband services are subsidized or infrastructures are implemented at places, in places where the GSM companies would not find it lucrative to actually put in an infrastructure. So it is approved at the level of cabinet. Now the ministry is working with PURA to be able to determine the revenue sourcing of this important policy, so that in certain areas where ISPs will not erect an antenna because they think they don't have the money or there's no economic benefit for them, the US fund could actually chip in and then provide that facility. So that is another policy that we are working on. Now, if you look at capacity also, we mentioned that we have a national backbone, which goes around the country, both both north bank and south bank of the country. So now there's fiber everywhere in the country, and also with the coming of the NDN project, and we have about 4 GSM companies, and then one fixed line operator. Now, in 2014, this record is in 2014, we had about 5 ISPs and about 380,000 internet users around that time. Now, I just want to compare that with the statistics now. There are about 580,000 internet users as of January 2021, and the number of internet users between 2020 and 2021 has increased to 108,000, that is about 23%. Also, right now we have about 7 ISPs, and then we are expecting more to come in the next couple of months. Okay. Also, social media users, they have increased from 300,000 around last year to about 430,000. That is about 16% improvement, right? But still, all these things doesn't necessarily mean that we are there. We have a long way to go. Because looking at the population of the Gambia now, we're talking about 2 million people or so, and you see that only 1/3 of the population is still accessing the internet. And one of the main reasons we all know is actually, we talk about is affordability, right? But when you talk about affordability, it's not only affordability, well, that is the primary reason, but also accessibility. But the most important one I also think at our state, at the state we are in now, is literacy, digital literacy, because people will benefit a lot using the internet if they know the benefits of the internet, if they know how they should use the internet to benefit their lives in terms of entertainment, in terms of getting health, getting education, and so on and so forth. So there's still a lot of gap in terms of digital literacy. So at the level of the ministry, we are developing a feasibility study together with the African Development Bank that will try to establish or create a digital literacy policy, a national digital literacy policy and skills policy that will actually assist the country in terms of creating more digital literacy programs, and that will help in terms of increasing digital skills, and this will roll out different stakeholders, including the youth, women, and the underprivileged people, as well as those with disabilities, and so on and so forth. So part of it also, in terms of what we're doing in terms of access, we're doing also hubs, because because most of the people want to have access to the internet, and so maybe they can have it from their house, especially the young people. So the idea of creating a hub will actually bring in young people together in one space, give them the resources that they want, and allow them to collaborate and create. We have seen that, started now maybe with the startup incubator, and then we also have the hub. Maybe some of those services you need to pay or things like that, and still, some of it may not be available to some part of the people depending on their location. So at Moise, we are working with UTG to establish a hub. The feasibility study just started, and UTG is leading in that. So the aim is to have that hub located in UTG that will be open to every young person to come, use the resources, collaborate, and then help to create or use the internet to better themselves. But we're not stopping at UTG. We also identified 5 regional areas. So this hub will be going to these regional headquarters in the country, and they will have all the resources in those centers, including internet and other facilities to support them, all geared towards improving access. So under the ICT4D master plan, there is a specific objective and strategy. We're talking about promoting advanced broadband ICT infrastructure development, and also the establishment of the UAS to promote creation of information society, promote social economic growth, and access to affordable and reliable information, including to ensure inclusion and digital participation of everyone. So this UAS, actually, which I mentioned before, is based on key principles, including liberalization of the sector, affordability, availability, accessibility, and of course awareness together with digital culture and society. There are a number of interventions whose primary objective is not only for access, but also overall impact will serve to increase universal access as well as service. But this is not only limited to promotion of competition and increase range of innovative service available to users, and of course, improving the regulatory mechanism in the sector. And to that end, we know one of the challenges we have as a sector is in terms of regulation. We need more support in that aspect. So therefore, and also the legal mechanism that we know. The act we are using right now is 2009 IC Act. So right now we're doing a review of the 2009 Act to strengthen the legal and regulatory framework in the country. Now, also when it comes to capacity, we say it's there. But why is this capacity not translating, not getting to the users? One of the problems is the last mile coverage. You have fiber all around the country, but users are not getting into their house. So the last mile also is very important to the ministry. So we have some initiatives that we are embarking on. One of them is the e-power project, and the idea of the e-power project is to offer quadruple play services. For example, using the traditional direct electric line and then supply internet fiber to homes, both in the rural and urban center. So the discussion on that at the level of ministry is high. Also, we have a digital addressing system, that is running now. We have piloted that in Banjul, and in all the properties in Banjul now they have digital addresses using Google Plus codes. This is all geared towards inclusion as well as access. And what we think is, if this project is done, it can offer a lot of benefit to, it can also boost the e-commerce industry in the country, where properties will be located. It will help also the fire and ambulance services, just to name but a few. So my minister mentioned it in the beginning. You cannot provide internet in this generation if it's not stable. Like you mentioned, last year we had a blackout because we are only one major submarine cable, that is GSE cable. So what is the ministry doing? Right now, like the minister said, we are working on having a second landing station, and the discussion are really hard. We have a very important subcommittee under the office of the president that is working on this. And they have identified different ways we can get this, and we will develop a costing model for this second landing station. So we are very hopeful that we will get it very, very soon. And another negotiation that is going on is the cable under the ECOWAS to see how we can have another backbone. So a country like Senegal, for example, have up to about 4 backbones. So you understand that, in this age, no country should experience blackout, because internet is part of our life, like I said. So some people's life depend on the internet, and so on. So it's very important. So apart from that, we have other strategies like the strategy for youth and women development, and this strategy is aimed at the outline measures for the enhancement of youth and women development and empowerment through the use of ICT. Also, we have the human capital development strategy and policy that is centered on ensuring access to relevant and quality education for all. The purpose is to build and help organizations optimize their resources for efficient and effective mission achieved by using ICT. E-governance strategy, the whole idea of the e-governance is inclusion. We will allow citizens to partake in the running of the country, also access services. So all geared towards accessibility and inclusion. Basically, these are some of the strategies and policies that we are working on to actually further inclusion and digital access. Like I said, the main question now should be that we already have the capacity, we have the backbone, and so why is this not translating now to cheaper internet access for everybody in this country. So I think the other session that is taken about, I think that of course probably these are the areas that they will deal with, but at the level of the ministry, like I said, this really means a lot to us, and we are working with URA in terms of making sure that there is reliable, accessible, and affordable internet for everybody in the country. So I would like to stop here, and if you may have any questions, we will be happy to take them and bring up the discussion later. Thank you very much.
Agada.
Mbijan aganyadi.
Albaka.
Mbaka important.
Yo, nga transfer la sto.
Ya transfer la sto.
Ha, code nyinji.
Okay. Korsa. Nsila ID soto.
Ah, sa soto. Sorry. Agada.
Mbijan bro.
Albaka.
Mbaka.
Bara alla service o tariya.
Ah,
mbare mo ki janna nun kunu bara tariya.
Ah, jannom yona forest de bureau. Gambia tonkon na no mbari ya bere. Ha. Birim koyna fo kato.
Bari si kodo kino kato ni fo bolong labe to.
56 branches mola sota Gambia jam.
Ha?
Ha. Gambia kono ani Gambia bantala bankol. Nko kono kiya bere to. Kodo sifa fo falindiro fo nyaadi lafta memmen na kodi to poto nin kodi maraw jannam number 1 di nyonta andum fana nata anoda enterprise sotale wala nyindi ko domorol fana kol fana be firale de dadi ma nin domorol din fana be teat Gambia dawda yalo ma kum fa kendol sotale je
ha e wo moyo diat ha
apelenta
baraka ni ma lafta nyelen kendol e binaji
yalo bu kanyi la ko la baraka ba
yalo ndel ciosano lo
baraka.
We live in a day and age where technology is creating a world without borders, filled with unlimited potential to improve the lives of the people around us. Innovarex Global Health ushers in a new way of leveling the playing field with increased access to quality healthcare services delivered at your doorstep. Our qualified professionals are equipped with state-of-the-art point-of-care testing technology to conduct tests such as kidney function, liver function, electrolyte tests, body composition, hemoglobin, A1C, and many more services with the highest efficiency in delivering results. The addition to our flagship Wellness on Wheels, more fondly known as WOW Delivery Service, brings the entire clinical experience full circle. IGH has remained committed to creating the future of healthcare delivery. Gone are the days of sending loved ones outside the country for basic medical services. Innovarex Global Health offers a new peace of mind and takes pride in delivering the quality of care we all deserve.